Welcome everyone to today's session. Welcome everyone to today's webinar with sAi Venture Capital. I would like Rahil Iqbal Saab, our Senior Vice Chairman, to give the welcome note.
जी बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम अस्सलाम वालेकुम everyone. Thank you very much जी. So first of all, thank you sAi Ventures, Ahsan Saab, Moiz Saab and all the team members of sAi Ventures for bringing up this amazing opportunity. I welcome formally all the prestigious Pasha members who are here in the call today. And this is a very unique and a very special opportunity for all the companies at a very right time that we are looking forward to scale our industry. And sAi Ventures believe in Pasha, they believe in the Pasha companies and the IT industry overall of Pakistan, and they are willing to invest in IT industry of Pakistan, IT companies, products, ideas, services, whatever unique USPs that we have to scale up overall ecosystem and to scale up the IT industry of Pakistan. So this is a very unique opportunity. And I personally thanks all the Pasha CEC members and the current secretariat team, industry engagement, all the members of the Pasha that who actually made this happen. There's a lot of brainstorming happened at the back end. We had a lot of meetings, and after that, this is happening today. And in today's call, I think the major things will be covered. Ahsan Saab and his team will be covering all the major points, how they want to invest and where are the opportunities. So it's more of a brainstorming and QA session as well that will be conducted after all the presentations and everything. And obviously, I thank the CEC, Pasha CEC, and also our chairman Sajad Mustafa Saab, who actually had we had a very long meetings and to make all this thing happen. And we're looking forward that more of such opportunities will keep coming, and we believe in sAi Ventures, Ahsan Saab and his team. And now, Ahsan Saab, the floor is all yours and all your team members. So thank you very much once again, and you can begin, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rahim Saab. Can you guys hear me first of all, okay?
Yeah, it's clear. You can audible.
So first of all, I want to start by thanking Sajjad Saab and Pasha CEC. sAi Capital की अपनी our journey as an investor started, with a few companies, and in the last 6 months, with the work that we have done in Pasha as an organization of all the IT companies, its vision for the IT sector just came together, as Rahim Saab said, at the perfect time. Because we want we want to impact the entire industry versus just a few companies, and Pasha is the right platform for that. So I'm really excited to connect with all of you, to work with the Pasha's team, to contribute and create a lot of unfair advantages for our companies. And you will hear me use this word unfair advantages quite a bit because venture level growths require a lot of things that typical organic growth doesn't have. So I'm going to ask my colleague here, Moiz, to just put the deck up. We put a few things together to drive a conversation. And I know we have a lot of people here, so I'll leave it to Ali Saab to see how you want to orchestrate the question Q&A side of the thing. So let me start by explaining who we are. Do you want to go to presentation mode? Let me go and can you guys see what Moiz is putting together? Can you go to presentation? You guys can see what he's got on this thing, right? So we are in the business of infusing growth capital into firms that we target and our partners target. Firms we identify as potential global players in the tech industry. Next slide. But before I do that, मैं थोड़ा सा अपने बारे में I'd like to share with the broader group, those who have not met me. So my name is Ehsan Jamil. I am the managing partner, CEO of sAi Capital. Prior to starting sAi, I'll share a little bit of my experiences. आप सारे technologists हैं, so I am one of you guys versus some finance guy who's into the space. So I want to prove that a little bit in the next couple of minutes. So I started my life as a technology consultant. So I left Pakistan for the US for a couple of decades. And I started my life as so many दो तीन hats पहने that I want to share with you. First of all, I started my life as a technology consultant. learn how to build applications, learn how to write code, really, learn how to serve Fortune 100 clients. And my journey started with Aon Hewitt, which is today Allied Solutions. So my first clients were BP and Target, and I started to swim in the deep end of the pool very, very quickly. उसके बाद I joined ESL Investments in the US, where again my role transitioned from being a pure technologist to being a technologist strategist as well. ESL Investments was buying different companies, not just tech companies, a bouquet of companies. जिसमें we had some tech plays, but really a great underlying tech platform that I was expected to drive. And my expertise was data analytics, application development, PMO. Those are the areas that I ventured in. And from then onwards, so I experienced building technology, I experienced running tech firms, I experienced, most importantly, a client relation with the best tech firms in the world. So my experience, I have been a client for all the major tech players, I can say at level. Sorry? If you're not speaking, please put yourself on mute. थोड़ा सा echo आ रहा था. Thank you. So from my perspective, the Infosys is, the TCS is, the Cognizance, the McKinsey's, the IBM's, I have active client experience with them, and which is very important because this, all of this adds to what sAi Capital brings to an organization beyond capital. Because जब हम invest करते हैं किसी के साथ, तो it's not just about the money, right? You are bringing an investor into your family. You want to be able to expose problems. You want an investor who understands your challenges, who understands where things are at. And I've done work at scale in the technology space. So when we put capital, we bring a lot of advisory and things that help you grow, acquire more clients, become a better organization, because that's how you do well. And if you do well, we as investors, as strategic investors, do well. Next slide, please. I'm not going to dabble in this too much because I think you guys already know this. This is the perfect time, in my humble opinion, for this partnership to happen. Because दो तीन चीजें इकट्ठी आ गई हैं हमारे पास. Number one, the world itself is going through a technology transformation. और हमारा focus ज़्यादा होता है enterprise side पे. We love companies we invest in to work with enterprise, whether they're doing product or services, like that's a separate space, but हम enterprise में बहुत focused होते हैं because that's where most of the deep relationships, cutting edge work, and revenue scales happen. So हमें वो चीजें matter करती है. So the future in numbers is really bright. I think all of you who are developing business are very well aware of the market opportunity. You don't need us to tell you that. You need us to help you get there. Next slide. Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, I can see. I think we can skip this slide, or maybe 2 minutes on this. Acha, so जब मैं Pakistan आया ना, so keep in mind my background a little bit, right? So I'm working with global companies. I never come across many Pakistani companies who are in the enterprise space. जो Fortune 500 में काम कर रहे हो, not many, right? Very handful of them. And our goal is that today we have only a few companies that do multiple tens, over $10 million of business in Pakistan, which is a very small number, right? Small number of companies and small number of revenue. हमने इस number को exponentially grow करवाना है. Next slide. Yeah. Achha, so vision is really important for us, so we can share with you on
100%. 75% of the पहले
जी अदनान साहब,
होता है तो उसके बाद पे ऑर्डर मिलता है.
Thank you.
ये प्लीज अपने आप म्यूट रखें. We will have Q&A at the end of the session. तो प्लीज हर एक को रिक्वेस्ट है कि म्यूट पे रहें so we can hear the presentation. Thank you.
अच्छा, so today what's happening in the IT industry, as you guys are very aware, कि आप लोग उसको live through करते हैं, it's a very organic, homegrown model, right? Founders get together, they grow work, and then really it's a revenue challenge because IT companies want to bring in work whatever they can, and that work is usually not very complex. What we've observed, and this is not a comment on all companies, but majority of the companies we're seeing are we're doing simple, small scale work, a lot of projects, a lot of companies, and being in that space. Our vision is that if we invest in companies, we want to make global tech giants, right? global tech giants who are working at the enterprise space, doing frontier technology work, who have solution architecture that is best in class. And then obviously we have value-driven pricing, because our pricing advantage is hand, but when you combine that with value, that's when the game completely changes. So coming, why did we come with Pasha, right? Because Pasha is above all our IT sector, it has influence on policy. All of the good organizations that are doing tech work are in this space. And then from our perspective, we bring a lot of global best practices, capital लेके आते हैं, business लेके आते हैं. We have a proven track record between me and the advisors on the team and the people we have on our board who know that how do we fast track a company that is either plateauing or slowly growing and fast track them in a 3 to 5 year period so they become a much larger company with a much larger footprint globally and a great valuation, right? Yeah, so basically sAi Capital is a mixture of private equity and venture capital. We have a lot of private equity principles. We like good businesses who grow in a certain way, who have good CEOs, good founders, who are tech focused, have a proven model. And then on the venture side, we like to infuse capital, provide business growth, have focus on those type of returns, okay, as you as guys, as founders and executives in your company, as us as investors both win in. Slide. You can stop presenting. Right. So this was a little bit about a background of us. Now you can stop presenting, Mike. So this was a little bit about who we are, our vision for the IT industry. I was at DFDI a little while back, और अब हमने वो mandate जो है वो scale करना है. We have 3 investments in our space already. We keep infusing capital, growth capital. So if those companies with some capital grow, we keep doing more capital infusion because जो journey उन्होंने 5 से 7 साल में करनी थी, अगर वो 1 से 2 साल में करें, we want that journey to keep growing. And we obviously do a lot of oversight on the core foundational blocks कि वो company grow कैसे करे. Now, what's important to understand, so all of you who are listening to me today are working within or running IT companies of different scale, different tech stacks, different clientele. You've got your own journey, you've got your experiences. हमारा fundamental goal ये है कि आपकी great foundation inorganic way से execute करवाएं. Organic way you may have a target कि अगले हमने 5 साल में किधर जाना है. We want you to achieve those targets in a year and a half, and we bring things to the table, including our own experiences and credibility, capital, market access, all the things on the table into your ecosystem जो हम करें. हमारा goal as sAi Capital is a very focused investment fund. So हमारी 3 companies हैं. We'll probably do 10 to 12, maximum companies. So we will be going through a process of जो हमने invest करना है और हमारे साथ global co-investors भी होते हैं, right? So because the idea is not just money, right? It's about bringing strategic people who have skin in the game and जिनको आप अपने घर के अंदर accept करें और जो आपके जो उस relationship को इतना respect करें that they help you guys, grow and become bigger companies. So we have a very focused sort of fund investment thesis. Recently, in my conversations with the government believes that what we are doing should be scaled. So we have many companies of global name versus just a handful of us. So I'm both optimistic that we'll go into that process. So you heard my investment thesis. You've heard sort of few investments we have done already, and we've seen some great results with that. Obviously, we have to maintain confidentiality of each company, which I will talk about because that's the elephant in the room. For everybody who wants to talk to an investor, you're all here. Like, how do we look at information? But we've seen some great results, which is why we feel कि हमारे लिए इस space में a large amount of capital for a Pakistani market करना कोई problem नहीं है. हम इस asset class को बहुत पसंद करते हैं. We know we have the talent. I think we have work to do in terms of organizational structuring, business development, and other areas. But I do believe there's no reason that globe में जो भी opportunity आ रही है with the advent of AI that we should not be as an industry capitalizing on that more. And we, as SAi Capital, want to enhance the core value you already bring to the table, which is IT talent. We want to enhance that through capital and other means to make it grow. So, Alisa, do you want me to take the questions in the end or phase by phase of my conversation? Because this
It would
phase
be
is about telling
preferable
more
if
about.
it would be preferable that we do Q&A at the end.
ठीक है
Otherwise वो फिर बहुत extended हो जाएगा session. So it's better that everybody jots down their questions as we go along and we do Q&A at the
Makes
end.
sense. ठीक है. So हमारा जो focus है ना largely as investors is on frontier technology and advanced technology companies. Companies who may be small in size, that doesn't matter, but whose focus is really on the technology stacks and the problem solving at the enterprise level of the future. So and that doesn't mean that today you have to be that company. You have to have the aspiration and some sort of know-how in that space. So अगर आप AI देखते हैं, agentic frameworks देखते हैं, आप AI technology को देखते हैं, we are primarily interested in companies who know something there. Now that may be only 30% of your revenue, 20% revenue. That's a problem we can work with as long as you have the aspiration and other aspects to it. But that's our focus. So our focus area is high value work usually, जिसके अंदर हम capital infuse करके उनको next phase पे लेके जाए. That's our core thesis. हमारे साथ जो global investors भी हैं वो अब excited हो गए हैं because they've seen the first few companies we worked with and how they've improved, and they now feel like, yeah, through SAi we can engage in Pakistan with other tech companies to grow. Because आप अपने आप को as an investor या as a client के perspective से देखें, so what we bring to the table is a solution to their concerns. So, for example, I take this example of Walmart comes tomorrow and goes to company ABC. I know how Walmart thinks, right? Being an executive in large tech space, we have that exposure. The concerns that Walmart has, when you have an investor who is local smart money and sort of has our pedigree, half of their concern in terms of governance, transparency, the fact that you have a balance sheet, the fact that you can, have the right advisors on your space, वो चीजें concerns हटा देते हैं. So then your client usually has a concern about, okay, can you solve our problem? How many people will you give? What pricing would you give it at? Those are the type of problems that they focus on. So our goal becomes, when we come on the table, is that those concerns of potential clients and potentially other investors are all removed. They become our problem, right? That's something we then deal with. And then also, our own technical expertise becomes yours. So if I've done something in my life and we are an advisor on your board as an investor, that is your expertise, which I will make sure is transmitted to you guys, whether it's a process or some, solution we did in the past, or even simple things like QA. We bring those things to your table. So that's kind of what we bring to the table in addition to capital, so that the relation is more strategic. You know our investment process, our investment thesis. The next thing I wanted to talk about was the due diligence. So आप में से कुछ ऐसी companies होंगी that are finding कि हम plateau कर गए हैं, हमें breakthroughs नहीं मिल रहे, हमें capital और global name चाहिए हमारे साथ, which will help us and the things we bring to the table. So those of you will come to us. So we have a due diligence process. अब हमारे पास आपकी एक concern है that I want to address today, and then हमारी एक concern होती है as a potential strategic investor. आपकी concern होनी चाहिए और है is the safeguarding of your information, right? So all of you should know that we are governed by American law, right? So for us, in Pakistan, safeguarding information may not be a huge deal. For us, it's a massive deal, right? Because I can be taken to court in the US. I'm a dual citizen and we're a American branded firm sitting over here. So हमारे लिए protection of information is extremely important. So any of you guys, the companies who will want to engage in this process and then have that aspiration will go through NDA process with us, which is a two-way NDA. हम आपको अपने बारे में कुछ चीजें बताएंगे, questions पूछेंगे जो आपको safeguard करनी है, और जो हम आपसे पूछेंगे will be vaulted in. So we are governed. We are very, very particular about that. We have data room access controls. We do a bunch of things because it is important कि आप हमसे जो share करें वो हमारे पास ही खाली रहे, right? And if you look at some of the larger investment firms in the world, the BlackRocks of the world and others, उनके ही mechanisms हमने अपने पास रखे होते हैं safeguarding. We are for us it's just normal best practices, but I learned in Pakistan that it is an extremely important concern. And so we are very careful about it. We put the NDAs and processes in place, and we give you that comfort to do that. अच्छा, अब due diligence process में for those that are interested, I want to walk you guys through that, right? कि उसका process क्या होता है. So we have two people. There are people who are just going to want to talk to us for exploration. They're not really interested to grow, and we find that हमें engage करना होता है. Naturally, we don't know upfront. But I would highly recommend that if you're truly interested, is to engage. You can get on a call with me and be transparent, like, hey, I'm not really interested. I just want to get some input from you. Happy to talk. I consider myself part of Basha as well. It is our job to advise and help. So what be a problem? You can pick up a phone. Hey, say, we want to talk to you guys, the team. I just have some questions. But transparency is important. Agar aap truly plateau mein hit, you truly feel that you are a company that is got a very bright future, you have growth aspirations, you feel like a strategic investor, in our asset class can help you with our sort of connectivity, then you come and talk to us. फिर हम आपको due diligence process से लेके आएंगे. अब due diligence process is a two-part process. First part में ये होता है कि we want some basic information about you, right? To make a principled decision whether our relationship as an investor and an investee makes sense. So उसके लिए हमारा एक criteria of information ask होती है जो बहुत limited होती है, right? So we're not going to ask certain things about founders. We're not going to ask certain proof हम नहीं मांगेंगे day one में, because that's confidential proprietary information होती है जो तभी आपको देनी चाहिए जब आपको पता है principal decision में investment हो गया. So there is one set of information that we need, which is primarily about basic information होती है उसकी that we ask for, so that we can get a gauge of आपका tech talent कैसा है, आपका experience कैसा है, आपकी financial health कैसी रही है, basic stuff, right? So that we can model your company and have a serious conversation with you of whether this investor-investee relation works or not. After that term sheet is done, if that situation happens, then that comes a 60-day period होता है, which is a second layer of due diligence, जिसमें हमने terms investment की हो चुकी होती हैं, but अब हमें make sure करना होता है कि there is nothing that we have missed, right? Or something that we need to be aware of. तो वो second layer होती है. So as potential companies who want to engage with us as investors, you should not be concerned that you have to give your whole house away in information. There's a certain level of information first that we ask for, which is also very well protected. We're happy to give you guys access to where you put that information, who else is seeing it. We have controls in place. And then there's a second layer of information, which is much more detailed due diligence that happens, obviously, as you understand, after a principal investment decision has been made. So now it is about making sure the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, everything is, in space for that. So that's our thing on that. Again, I don't have, I've touched on the things I wanted to talk about today, the first half an hour, in terms of who we are, how we engage. Sorry, Ali Saab, I was reading your comment. So this is who we are. This is our vision. We have the experience, the pedigree. We've now done 3 investments across 2 years. We plan on doing another 5 or so with Fund 1 as well as Fund 2. So our plan is very clear. We are very excited to work with all the top IT companies in Pakistan to identify and work with you. We'll have multiple relations. एक investor relation होगा, and then as an advisor within Pasha, happy to get on a call with anyone to have a conversation. Just I would ask, be respectful of each other's time, make things purposeful, and looking forward to working with everyone and helping hopefully a lot of you in growing the IT industry. So with that, I'll stop. Rahil Saab and Ali Saab, if you guys want to open up the floor for questions, I want to spend most of the time answering.
Thank you
Thank you very much,
much.
Hassan Saab. We are very much interested in knowing the process that SAi Venture would be following. And that's a question which everybody has. So the process that would be followed, we are here to facilitate our members as well as SAi Ventures. So if you could share that with us, that would help, and then we can move to Q&A.
Yeah.
Rahil Saab, you wanted to add something? Sorry.
So I would suggest that always there is a format for Q&A. If they can write in the chat box, we can filter them out. Some of the questions are very common. Some are asking that the normal due diligence process. What is the due diligence process? The tech stack you shared. So these are tech that we are looking forward to have more and more investment. So common tech stack, due diligence process, and so most of the questions will revolve around these 2 3 domains. So everyone will
Yeah.
be writing chat, so we can actually align them up, and it will be easy for you to answer them as well.
Yeah, let me address the due diligence question really quickly. I have Moise here as well. So we will solicit interest from people who are interested in the space. And like I said, if you're truly not interested, for your own brand and reputation and respect for time, don't indulge in it. Just give me a call if you just want to talk, right? वो कोई problem नहीं. You can connect with me and my team, and happy to get on that. But if you're truly interested, we will solicit your interest. And in that solicit, if you are interested and you fall within sort of, first we will ask you a few questions about what the type of work your company does. We're not interested in your financials first. We want to know कि आपकी company के skills क्या है. So for example, you might be a company that just specializes on cloud, right? Like, hey, we are AWS experts. This is what we do. We will look at it. You are interested to grow. We'll give you a chance to say, okay, help us understand how do we help you grow? What is your vision in that space? So हम आपके tech stack पे पहले पूछते हैं कि जी आपकी technology expertise क्या है? Financials बात की बात है. And then we will send you a form. You'll give us some information about your company. ये सारी information जो phase 1 की है वो हम एक through a structured form solicit करते हैं, right? And under an NDA. So we'll do an NDA with you guys if you're interested. Then we'll send you a form in which you will give some key broad stroke dimensions about your company that we need to know to even say, okay, is it a good match for us? Can we add value for you? And give you some feedback. Once we've gone through that process, then we will reach out to you and say, hey, look, we've looked through your thing, you've answered the questions. I think this can become something good. It can become something big. We'd like you to come in. And in that meeting, then we do a proper like investment deck review with you, which basically means हम आपसे सारे सवाल पूछेंगे. Hey, you're a serious player. What type of revenues have you done? What type of tech stack? How your IT, that's sort of proprietary things that we ask and is in our list. We have a laundry list of those things. Once you have that figured and we've engaged, right? And we principally think, hey, this can be a good fit, then we will model everything out and put a value in your company, have a conversation with you, talk about equity, talk about the amount of capital you need. We'll have that conversation. And then beyond that, once those things are done, फिर एक detailed due diligence होती है, like, are you legally incorporated correctly, right? Have you no fraudulent activity? Do you have debt? वो चीजें हम आपसे पूछते हैं, लेकिन हम उनकी verification नहीं मांगते till down the road. So that is, it's a very common sort of investor process. There's nothing too.
याद है ना
Sorry, Jahara wants to say something. Ji, please.
Jahara, how are you? I think her phone was probably on.
अच्छा ऐसा साहब उसके बाद यह है कि हाउ टू अप्लाई आगे प्रोसीड कैसे करना है जहाँ मेंबर्स हमारे अप्लाई कर सकें.
Yeah. Moise is going to send that through to you guys, the solicitation for interest, whoever's interested. So he will, Moise is on my team. Some of the Pasha Cs, he has met him. He will work through the Pasha organization and the process and give that in so that can be distributed to all of the IT companies who are interested. You guys will fill that out, and then we will need a couple of weeks to go through those through the data set, look through the companies, do a very very basic one-on-one due diligence on our end. और उसके बाद फिर हम reach back करेंगे, and I will work with the Pasha CEC team on the communication modus operandi कि उसमें हमने कैसे करना है. But we have the form, we have all of those things set up. हम आपके through जो best mechanism है उसके through करेंगे. Moise, anything to add to that from a process perspective?
No, nothing.
That was kind of how we decided. Yeah. We want to keep it light touch, confidential, and sort of get to real meaningful conversation quickly rather than wasting your time or ours. So we want to get to that. So we developed a simplified form for that so that everybody can have it, express your interest, tell us a little bit about yourself. We narrow down, we come back to you, and then we start going through level 1 of due diligence. And then from then, all the companies that qualify for that sort of growth capital open level 2 में जाएंगे, which is a lot more detailed and a little bit more time consuming. time consuming.
Danny, that's great. Thank you very much. It sounds great. That's perfect. So we can now look at the questions being asked by most of the members in chat in our chat window, and we will align them accordingly, Ji.
How do you want to do this? Do you want me to open the chat, or do you guys want to pick and choose the questions?
Hello, may I have a question, please?
Sir, one moment. Please, anyone who has questions can add to the chat, or they can raise their hand, and we'll just go one by one. There is a question in chat that how do you define the investment, and what is the minimum and maximum size of investment that sAi Venture Capital is looking at?
Yeah, good. So I don't have a minimum or maximum. We obviously model different investment sizes and stages, but we don't have a minimum or maximum. I've written checks that are small to very meaningful checks. And because ये public information है, वो मैं आपसे share कर लूँगा उसके अंदर for the broader group, because we've announced some of those investments. So we've gone multi-million dollars to less than $1 million as well. So we've done both. Because priority order में क्या होता है कि nobody's a finished product, right? Growth capital gets you somewhere. So what I look for are very specific elements of what we can back, you know. And because being a technologist investor, मुझे वो tech aspect आपकी company की जो skill level है, right, matters a lot. So I've written a small check for companies that have mashallah doubled in a year, or their size, because their skills were really good. They just needed to institutionalize that. So हमारा कोई minimum maximum नहीं है. You guys should not hesitate in reaching out to us. We just, we're too small. That's not the point. Mark Zuckerberg was very small at one point. Bill Gates was very small at one point, right? Hamari industry is young. We know that, so we don't put a minimum thing कि इतना scale होगा तो आएं. We're not one of the incubators.
One question is that when you proceed with the process, how much equity level does sAi Venture look for when investing in a company?
Yeah, so again, minimum कोई नहीं होता है, but relation पे depend करता है, right? So passive capital doesn't really need a lot of equity. For us, we want to come in and help you guys, right? So for us, we want meaningful equity to be interested and wake up and think about you, think about your business, think about developing you, think about solving your problems, being in the house. So there's no minimum, maximum. We do not take a majority stake. So you guys should all know, because I'm in the business of making you guys win. We are the guys. मैं usually अपनी companies को बताता हूँ. We're the guys जब आप इंशाल्लाह जो company grow करके, as an example, IPO करती है ना, जो ना पीछे खड़े होते हैं. People are like, yeah, we were in the journey. We're happy being those guys. We want you to have the spotlight. We want you to be the people, who gain the most out of this relationship. Now, obviously, we want meaningful returns for ourselves, because हम उस journey में आपको help करेंगे to grow inorganically. But there's no minimum, maximum. But we're not interested in the 0.5%, 1% type stuff. Spray and pray हमारा model नहीं है. It's a very focused niche area. But we don't have enough data, in my opinion, honestly, to finalize कि जी मतलब ये minimum, maximum है. We just don't want it to be meaningless, so that we can be interested. Passive capital चाहिए, you've got 20 options, right? That'll just give you some money, and you guys can work through that. For us, it's supposed to be a meaningful relationship. So yeah, not a black and white answer. At least that's the best I can give.
Yeah, thank you. So basically, what we'll be doing is that we'll be getting a form ready along with sAi Venture, and that form will be floated to everyone. So you're able to provide your answers. That form may include sensitive information. So it would be preferable that that information flows directly from you to sAi Venture. So that will be discussed with sAi, and we'll float that form soon. So you'll be able to participate. I'll take some questions from the participants, and then we'll move back to chat questions. Mubashir Saab, you had a query. You've raised your hand.
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम
Assalamu alaikum.
सर. मैंने थोड़ा सा लेट ज्वाइन किया था. पहले तो आपका गुड नेम जानना चाहता हूँ, जो स्पीकर थे.
जी एहसन जमील।
अच्छा एहसन जमील सर, अस्सलाम वालेकुम। मेरा नाम मुबशर खालिद है। तो मैं इस वक्त मैनचेस्टर यूके से ज्वाइन कर रहा हूँ। मेरा ऑफिस है फैसलाबाद में, तो मेन बिजनेस इधर है यूके में।
जी
तो हमने एक जो वेंचर बनाया है, ऑनलाइन मार्केट प्लेस फॉर एशियन सब कॉन्टिनेंट ज्वेलर्स। तो उसके लिए एक तो हमें जो है उसके लिए गाइडेंस चाहिए और हेल्प चाहिए। फर्दर प्लेटफॉर्म बना के सारा कुछ ट्राइड एंड टेस्टेड है। तो नेक्स्ट लेवल के लिए हमें फंडिंग चाहिए, नंबर एक। और दूसरी जो है, जो a1jewelers.com है इटसेल्फ, उसकी जो है इन्वेंट्री के लिए इन्वेस्टमेंट चाहिए। ये दो है हमारे पास प्रपोजल्स। सो सिंस 1995 से मैं 94 से बिजनेस में हूँ और 2002 से ऑनलाइन हूँ। और हमारा सारा जो प्रोजेक्ट या सारा कुछ इन हाउस डेवलप्ड है, हमने आउटसोर्स नहीं किया। तो इस सिलसिले में आप क्या बता सकते हैं? क्योंकि हम टेक्निकल बंदे तो हैं, लेकिन ये जो मार्केटिंग थिंग जैसे उसका हमें कोई तजर्बा नहीं है। तो इसमें स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं। तो हमें एक्सपर्ट बंदे चाहिए आप जैसे, कि जो हमें नेक्स्ट लेवल पे लेके जा सके।
जी बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया मुबशर साहब। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वेरी कमेंडेबल कि आपने एक यूके पाकिस्तान मॉडल इसका बनाया है। मैं सो डेफिनेटली इस पे डीपर कॉन्वर्सेशन हो सकती है। मैं एडवाइस ये करूंगा सबको कि अपने पर्टिकुलर इस कॉल के लिए अपने पर्टिकुलर बिजनेस की करने में बहुत टाइम लग जाए। एवरीबडी काइंड ऑफ हैज दैट राइट। तो हम आपको फॉर्म भेजेंगे, जो फॉर्म और एक लिंक भेजेंगे जहाँ पे आपकी इंफॉर्मेशन कॉन्फिडेंशियली स्टोर होगी, जिसमें आप हमें बेसिक इन्फॉर्मेशन दे सकते हैं। तो हम उसमें फिर आपके साथ टाइम सेटअप करके, हमें ज़ाहिर है डिपेंडिंग ऑन द नंबर ऑफ कंपनीज दैट वांट टू एंगेज विद अस, we'll sort of determine how quickly we can get through this. But we are going to get that, and then we will prioritize from our perspective all the companies, how we want to talk through them. We'll do NDAs. My team will send NDAs to each of the companies we have active interest in, क्योंकि हम basic form में जो first information मांगेंगे वो बहुत broad scope होगी, right? It's something which people should not be concerned about sharing, क्योंकि वो आपकी website पे भी मिल सकती है in a way, right? So it should be that level of information. लेकिन उसके बाद जब हम थोड़ा फर्स्ट लेवल ऑफ ड्यू डिलिजेंस में जाएंगे, उससे पहले हम एनडीएस भेजेंगे उन कंपनीज को। वो एनडीएस आप साइन करेंगे सो दैट वी सेफ गार्ड योर इन्फॉर्मेशन। उसमें हम थोड़ी सी डीपर इन्फॉर्मेशन मांगेंगे आपके बिजनेस के बारे में, टेक, ऑल द थिंग्स, आपकी पेन पॉइंट्स, हाउ वी कैन हेल्प, वेदर वी कैन हेल्प, राइट, इन कैपिटल एंड बियॉन्ड। और फिर हम उस तरह जाएंगे। बट आई वुड रेकमेंड कि everybody, hold off your specific business problems, because then we'll have 100 of them. But ask more generic questions that I can help answer. So Mubashir, we'll definitely talk offline.
थैंक यू वेरी मच इंडीड।
Usman Akbar साहब, please go ahead.
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम, उस्मान हियर जी। थैंक यू फॉर द प्लेटफॉर्म जी। मेरे दो क्वेश्चंस हैं। नंबर वन इज के आर यू लाइक इंटरेस्टेड इन्वेस्टमेंट अर्ली स्टेज स्टार्टअप या ग्रोथ स्टेज में होना जरूरी है? और दूसरा, प्रोडक्ट बेस्ड स्टार्टअप्स होंगे या फिर सर्विस बेस्ड मॉडल भी बोथ आर एप्लीकेबल?
No, so I answer the second question first. We are very interested in the service-based model. In fact, majority of our capital has gone in growth capital in that space. So हमें वो बिल्कुल we've developed financial modeling around that for the last 2 years
Okay.
in this space. And we look at startups as well. Startups obviously हमारे पास बहुत आते हैं, कुछ में हमने इन्वेस्ट भी किया था। बट मेरा जो थीसिस है स्टार्टअप्स के बारे में, वो मार्केट से हमेशा थोड़ा डिफरेंट रहा है इन द लास्ट कपल ऑफ इयर्स। इवन इन द जब स्टार्टअप कैपिटल बहुत इन्फ्यूज हुआ था, फर्क था। सो आप टू आंसर योर क्वेश्चन उस्मान साहब, yes, we are interested in both spaces. I personally, we like growth capital more than pure cash burn play today. Now, there are some companies who are in the cash burn phase but really fit our thesis, which is like great tech, great founders, right? All of that. But वो बार थोड़ी हायर होती है। जब आपका एज अ बिजनेस आप पैसे नहीं बना रहे होते, तो उसकी बार ऑफ द अदर एस्पेक्ट्स becomes a little higher. So to answer your question, nothing is off the table. And we've seen, in the services space, we've seen some phenomenal success, and we've financially modeled around that as well. And we're very open to both.
Perfect. And growth stage or early stage, both are welcome?
Both are welcome.
Okay.
Both are welcome. Now, as a portfolio, we do like having a mix of companies, because naturally, as an investor, we hedge our bets because there are 8 to 10 companies we'll invest in, right? So we like to complement that, but usually where Pakistan's tech ecosystem is, like, I wouldn't care if I like the fundamentals of a company, then all of the things are easy to negotiate, right? Are easy to get over, you know.
Got
So
it.
for us, it is.
Yep, understood. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mehdi Raza Saab, please ask your question and please keep it brief.
Sure, just a second. Hi, my name is Mehdi Raza. I'm the director of Softcom. Yasin, thank you for the detailed overlook of this opportunity. Just one quick question was, in which countries or the regions as a strategic partner can SAI help us as a investor, as a like gate opener in different countries? Like as you said, US is one of your core playing field. Besides that, which countries you can help us penetrate?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So no, so US is the primary from a target market, a target investor space. US is the primary place for as a target market. Now we do have deep relations in the Middle East as well, where between our board of advisors and other people, we are. हमने पिछले 2 साल में while we were investing in helping our investees grow and become an example of what is possible when you bring an investor on. While we were doing that, we were also seeding all the relationships necessary ताकि जब हम अपने investment models को इन companies को next scale पे लेके जाएं, those things are there. So we are mostly westward looking, which is the Middle Eastern, Saudi, UAE market and the American market, the North American market. I am very interested in the Japanese side, but frankly, if you ask me, can I help a lot there? Neither is my experience extensive there, nor have we done investments. So we're not too East focused today. We do want to become more global down the road, but not today.
Quick query, what verticals are you specifically interested in investing, like fintech, health tech, edutech, etc.? What specific areas is SAI Venture looking at?
So again, our investment world is divided into 2 parts, right? One, आपका question जो है हरी साहब is more on the startup side, right? Because startups में किस vertical में आप interested हैं? I'll give you that, but then I'll give you a caveat. In startups, edtech, health tech, and fintech and agri-tech were the 4 areas that I truly sort of liked. We made an investment in logistics already because we want to experiment with these 4 or 5 sectors in the B2C space. So इनमें हमारी priority, but again, I just got a pitch today of a company that's doing chip manufacturing, for example, right? So हम exclusive नहीं होते because emerging market में ना, you don't want to just eliminate a sector. But if you ask me the potential in the startup side, I like those 4 sectors more because that's where low discretionary income and high number of people sort of comes into play. Macros उसके align करते हैं उन sectors में. On the other side, which is the enterprise B2B services side, right? We are sector agnostic. We are very tech stack focused. So for example, I know today our company that's developing AI agents and is doing top of line work, they may have clients in 4 sectors today, right? But they can easily be in the next 5. So उसमें हमें ये नहीं होता कि hey, अगर आपकी सर्विसेज कंपनी है तो वो खाली हेल्थ केयर में कर रहे हो उसका क्लाइंट, right? Like we don't operate like that. There, I'm more interested in the type of work you do, the fundamentals of your company, sort of the track record of your delivery, and then we can see कि आपने किन sectors में वो अपनी capability को show किया है और कौन से sectors would be a good fit for you and how we can help you break into those sectors. Our investors and partners are global, so from UAE to US, हमारे साथ वो investors हैं हमारे साथ, right? और वो strategic investors हैं हमारे साथ. वो इसलिए because वो बहुत सी चीजें beyond capital लेके आते हैं like we do. Because we understand that as an IT company, most of you require more than just capital. And so our goal in the last 2 years has been to equip ourselves with expertise and knowledge and the track record to be able to provide you that, if that makes sense.
Another question, what would be the exit strategy of SAI Venture once you invest in a company? What options do you look at?
Yeah, so that I think will be in line with the founders. Again, the exit strategy is primarily driven by the CEO and the founding team. So we are just part of the team, right? Just like you guys want to make money off your time and effort and investments, we are sitting on the same table with you. So we are not हम जब अब किसी के इन्वेस्टमेंट करते हैं हम प्री डिफाइन नहीं करते हैं कि भाई यही होगा in this amount of time. We just tag along with you. So as long as we're making the decisions in the best interest of the company, right? And the exit decisions will fall accordingly. So for example, a company wants to go IPO, doesn't want to exit anything, or just wants to pay dividends, we'll be with you. If a company says, hey, I'm a great target for acquisition down the road, then we'll help you get there, right? So Hamara exit will be tied. I usually tie it directly. So I'm not going to have my own motorboat sort of run off as an investor. We like to be with you. We like to create optionality, and then we'll see where it goes as long as it's in the best interest of the organization we are investors in and that you guys are sort of leading.
Another question, of course, NDA would be signed when the process moves forward. The question is if, things don't work out between sAi Venture and the company looking for investment, the information that they have shared with you remains confidential, or any part of
For life.
that information is used by sAi.
No, for life. That information remains confidential for life. So the NDAs we sign, और ये हमारे साथ बहुत होता है, right? Like you have to understand, अगर BlackRock ने या Berkshire Hathaway ने जो pitches लेते हैं as investors, we go through a lot of information, right? People come and talk to us and share things with us, and they don't go forward sometimes. नहीं होती alignment, things don't go well. But we hold ourselves to US standards as investors. I am an American, as I told you, so हमारे लिए वो बिल्कुल एक par for the course है, right? In ESL investments, we came across 20 opportunities. So we know how to safeguard that. We know how to keep your confidentiality where it is, and investment होगी great, नहीं हुई, no problem. Your information remains, जो आपने हमें बताया in that process, dies with us. That is not available for market. That's just with us.
Thank you very much, Hassan Saab. Abdul Wahab Saab, Harish Nasir Saab, if you have anything to ask. Otherwise, I would
Nothing from
ask.
me, G. I'm just wishing Hassan and the side team and everyone else best of luck. It's a great initiative, and thank you for this session.
No, thank you, Haris. We appreciate all the support. We're very excited. We're very, very excited कि हम एक great stories के अंदर part बने in Pakistan's IT industry. This is the right time. Honestly speaking, with the advent of the new technology age and Pakistan's perception becoming better, the rest of the world, I'll tell you why we get really excited. I know बहुत से लोग हैं, but I'm a pretty candid guy for those of you who know me. My passion and excitement comes from genuine results. मैंने DFDI में शेयर भी किए थे जब मैं गया था कि this is why we're here and this is why we think कि हम $100 million इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं, no problem, because हमने पहले 10 मिलियन हमने पहले 2 साल सीखा है. We've learned from our investees, just like they've learned from us as investors. We've learned a lot of things. In 2 years हमने लगाए हैं head down, right? And this is the perfect time to do this. I cannot tell you the number of global investors and enterprise clients whose interest will grow by every passing day because of this relational dynamic, right? Because जब आप एक IT company होते हैं और आपके पीछे investors होते हैं, right? There are so many questions and concerns that go out the window. I cannot put yourself in your shoe. If you were a client, I was a client for so many, vendors. आप उनके पास जाते हैं, इन्वेस्टर बैक्ड होते हैं, प्राइवेट लाइक आपकी गवर्नेंस के क्वेश्चंस नहीं होते, ट्रांसपेरेंसी के नहीं होते, बैलेंस शीट के नहीं होते हैं आपको पता. And then investors like sAi, because we are technologist turned investors, we're not some finance guys who came out of a bank with all due respect and said, hey, just take our money, right? We like know your business. आप मुझे अपनी QA टीम के साथ बिठा देंगे ना, and I have frankly in my current investing, I've spent week with a QA team, like sitting with your 10 quality assurance guys and helping clean things up, right? Because I'm a technologist. I know what that phase looks like, and that's where हमसे बहुत से लोग बात करते हैं business development की, which is a very valid question. Capital infusion की बात करते हैं, right? But there are so many things as an IT person. You guys are all seasoned, but some of you may not know कि inward looking problems क्या हैं from a client lens. हमने वो चीजें आपको बतानी होती हैं ताकि आप as an organization best in class बने. Size जो भी हो, doesn't matter if you're 500 people or 5,000 people or 50,000. The quality of what you give has to be for the enterprise client. Somebody who'll come to you and say, I have no concern in developing my future with you. Because enterprise clients, when they talk to the Infosys, the TCSs of the world, right, or IBMs of the world, or the McKinseys of the world, they are putting their future in their hands in a collaborative mode. हमारा गोल ये है कि आप लोग जिनके साथ हम पार्टनर करेंगे वो उस कॉन्वर्सेशन में उस ethos के साथ present, right? So that's who we are. We bring technology experience, and we're very, very excited.
I think that makes
Usman
it
Akbar साहब
it's
जी
kind of like a unique combination as well with your background and your focus on tech. I think there's great things that are going to be coming out of it. I won't take more time. I think there are a lot of questions still for you to answer, so
Sure,
I'll
I'm
just
here. I'm all ears. जी
you
बताएं.
know.
Usman Akbar साहब please go ahead.
Ji, thank you. First of all, thank you, Ehsan, for your trust in Pasha and Pakistan, bringing in so much revenue, investment commitment. So I have few suggestions. I am heading startups committee in Pasha. सो आई वुड सजेस्ट कि अगर आपने फॉर्म क्रिएट करना ही है ना तो स्टार्टअप का फॉर्म डिफरेंट होना चाहिए देयर शुड बी
Agreed.
सेपरेट फॉर्म फॉर स्टार्टअप where the fields and the criteria are very well defined,
Agreed.
and I'm sure you must have those forms. We have also created few forms. We will share them with you, and we will help you shortlist the best startups according to your criteria. Whatever criteria you will set, we will make sure that the वही स्टार्टअप अप्लाई करें जो क्राइटेरिया मीट करते ताकि आपका भी हेडेक थोड़ा सा कम हो जाए नहीं तो स्टार्टअप की तो बहुत ज़्यादा हज़ारों एप्लीकेशन आएंगी इट विल बी वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू मैनेज दैम सो
Yeah.
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी हैव टू सेट सम क्राइटेरिया एंड क्रिएट अ सेपरेट फॉर्म फॉर स्टार्टअप एंड देन वी विल क्लोजली वर्क विद यू और उस पर शॉर्ट लिस्टिंग में हम आपकी हेल्प करेंगे और उसके बाद आप उनसे वन टू वन आगे लेके चल सकते हैं ठीक है और secondly, I think a confusion is still there regarding the startup. So I think we might have to roll out another email when we roll out the form. So looking forward to it. We can discuss it offline also. And thank you once again.
No, thank you, Usman Saab. Very kind of you. And I do agree with you that those are two bifurcated buckets. So one is more focused on growth capital. Startups usually have they're burning more cash than they're making, and they have a different sort of venture outlook. तो हम उनका फॉर्म सेपरेट रखेंगे हम वो करेंगे बट आई वुड लाइक टू डू एट सम पॉइंट राइट एज अ गिव बैक क्योंकि मैं ऑल द टाइम सोचता हूँ इसके बारे में कि जिनके साथ हम इन्वेस्टमेंट्स नहीं कर रहे हाउ डू वी कीप गिविंग बैक एक तो पॉलिसी साइड पे भी गिव इनपुट टू हेल्प द आईटी इंडस्ट्री I have no problem meeting a bunch of startups and sharing our experiences from back in 21, 22, particularly the ones where we did not invest and we turned out to be correct, right? तो हम क्या वो फंडामेंटल्स है जो हम उस वक्त देख रहे थे कि जो स्टार्टअप्स नए आ रहे हैं तो मार्केट में करेक्शन हुई है वैल्यूएशन की Jahara, who's a mentor and a guru in the space, can share far more than I can, right, in this space. But we can share a few things in there that we've seen कि ये चीज़ें बेहतर होंगी तो हमें एक जनरल नॉलेज डिस्पेंसेशन जरूर करनी चाहिए हमें with me and our team. And then again, from a solicitation of interest, Moiz will work with you guys and we'll create a separate funnel ताकि हम उसको deal करें in a more structured manner. Or growth capital को for the people who are in the services and the B2B space, उनको हम different उसमें deal करें ताकि हम दोनों को handle कर सकें appropriately. So great suggestion. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Rizwan Ali साहब you had a question.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Engineer Syed Rizwanli, working as an assistant professor and head of business incubation center, Baria University, Karachi campus, and I'm also a part of the startup committee of the Pasha as well. So I would like to ask a question about the university-based incubation center. So we would like to have you to have a close coordination, and we can have a further kind of in collaboration of the funding, especially for the incubators. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you, Rizwan Saab. A pleasure meeting you. Yeah, let's have a conversation on that. I have met a few incubation centers. I've not I mean, I visit them, advise, but I've not created a model around them. We're happy to have a conversation with you on what kind of partnership you're thinking.
Hashim Hassan साहब please go ahead with your question.
Assalamu alaikum ji, thank you very much, very informative. Mera Ehsan Saab, I wanted to ask you that we would be interested in kind of evaluating it. So what's the way forward?
Ji, again, Hashim Saab, pleasure meeting you. Like we were mentioning earlier, we will send out the form. I don't know if you joined early or maybe perhaps a little later in the
A
conversation.
little later.
Gigi, so we covered all of this. We will be sending I'll just repeat for everybody, right? Please be very respectful of your and our time. So if you truly are interested, that you feel that strategic investors like us can open the type of doors, infuse the type of capital to make the size of the pie bigger, to make you break the plateau that you're at, then reach out. Hashim sir, we will be sending out a form in conjunction with Pasha to solicit interest. Okay, are you interested in that? And ask you question, very basic questions, okay, you have no concern in sharing. And then we will do a little bit of work on our side to process all of those people solicited interest. And then we will do an NDA with a company that we do want to sort of do level one due diligence. Level one due diligence is a little more than what is publicly available, but definitely not the detailed due diligence. Because our goal is कि हम a certain level of due diligence करके, अगर everything works out fine, that we are able to come to terms, and then once those terms are agreed upon, then हमारी वो final level of due diligence होती है, which takes about 30 to 45 days, जिसमें हम verification बहुत सी चीजों की करते हैं, वो necessary होती है, right? Like, are you even incorporated? Like, do you have debt that you didn't tell us about? Like, we need to get through that.
Well, that's we are a very straightforward company, no debt free, no
Only
investments,
I'm
nothing.
sure I'm just telling for the general public, general
Yeah,
audience.
I know, which is important.
Thank you,
That is our
Hashim sir.
profit.
Thank you. On IP, when things move forward with a company, um, who owns the IP? Is there some, what is the model that SAI follows?
So IP is always owned by the organization. The entity
Yeah.
owns IP. So John Doe doesn't own IP. SN Chamita doesn't ever owns IP. The organization always owns IP. I have major concerns, by the way. I've been talking to sort of intellectual property lawyers. Pakistan, those laws are really, really weak. And so I don't have a perfect answer when you incorporate here, but my idea is IP is always owned by the company. SAI has got nothing to do. We don't try, and honestly speaking, guys, we are so interested in making the next best 10 companies out of Pakistan. To us, these little things of like, we don't want to cannibalize anything. We are interested in adding few $1 billion of worth and value in the ecosystem. So hमारे IP is completely belongs to the company. We have no, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for clarifying. Rahil sir?
Naniji, thank you very much. Just saying that looking forward to have more and more unicorns coming after the SAI Ventures and with Pakistan IT companies. We're looking forward to have next unicorns coming out of this venture, inshallah ji. Thank you ji. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you very much.
Abdul Wahab Saab, closing remarks.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. First of all, congratulations. We have a very healthy head count, 80 plus odd people in the session. That shows the real interest of our members into the SAI Ventures proposals. So definitely we will have more and more questions, and we will definitely roll out a frequently asked question to the SAI Ventures, and I believe they will be kind enough to respond that, and we will roll out among and between our members. So those who couldn't join the session today as well might be more interested in the program. So we will probably would love to have another follow-up session probably in 2 weeks' time. We will discuss internally and we'll roll out accordingly. And thank you very much for joining us, and thank you Ashton Sab and SAI Venture team to have your time to us here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Wahab sir. Just two cents of mine. So मैं travel कर रहा हूँ from July 1st to the end of July. Spending time for about 4 to 6 weeks in the US. We have a bunch of private equity and enterprise client conversations in line. My team will try our best. अब हमें obviously solicitation अगर बहुत ज़्यादा होती है, we might reduce our own internal review to be more simple. We just don't know today कि solicitation का level क्या है between startups and non-startups. We will, through Pasha CEC, we will be completely transparent on where our progress is. So please bear with me and my team as we go through this. It's not easy to digest and process a lot of information. So we will try our best to get back to you for any of the ones that we feel are not a good fit right off the top. We'll share that early. My team will be responsible for, and respectful of your time and effort to reach out. I just saw a question from Ms. Neelam. Hey, I applied for an investment through SAI's website. We get a lot of that. right, in our influx, and we try our best. I have set benchmarks of the team to get back to people, but we do make mistakes. We do get behind. We're obviously involved with our current portfolio as well. Our team is growing internally, so just bear with us. मैं mechanism जरूर create करूंगा team के साथ to try and get better at this, so we are more responsive in a timely manner. और जाहिर है जो लोग अप्लाई करेंगे भाषा की कितनी शीट्स हैं, like we'll maintain some data around that, so we know कि जी हमने किसी को at least if nothing else we don't have an answer, we at least let you know that hey we'll get back to you in 3 weeks, right? हमें इतना कोशिश करनी चाहिए कि हम मतलब वही respect reciprocal होनी चाहिए, right? If we're asking you to respect our time, we want to make sure that you are aware and have visibility on when we can give you time, right? So we'll try our best, G, and open to feedback from you guys to how to get better in engagement. हमारे लिए भी new है, larger influx. In the past तो हम बहुत selective, couple of companies at a time होती है. Now, mashallah, we are looking at an industry. There are a lot more companies. We have to get better at digesting that. So we'll try and get better and be responsive as well.
Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum. Ehsan Saab, thank you so much for the details. Sajid Shah here. I run a B2B enterprise SaaS startup. Been in the industry for about 12-13 years. मेरा एक quick सा comment था, sir. I mean, my experience with the VCs. One of the items, since you are doing this in collaboration with Pasha, one of the things which is extremely lacking is the introduction of technical review in the earlier system, right? In the earlier phases. So अगर आप पाशा के साथ collaborate कर रहे हैं, so I have a services company and through that I'm connected with Pasha. I mean, the folks at Pasha would love to go through pitch decks technically. I mean, I would love to go through 2-3 pitch decks a day for you and give you a technical, perspective. Business में तो obviously, I mean, the economics of everything, you guys must be expert at those. But I've seen that there's hardly any technical reviews, and I mean, I would try to say that technical understanding जितनी लोगों की है तो वो कम है when it comes to evaluating pitch decks. There might be startups which would have very good technical value but not much business value, and they would slip through the cracks. So I think there's an opportunity for folks at Pasha to extend that help to go technically through those pitch decks.
No,
So I would.
Yeah,
Please.
Sajasa, great question, and thank you for bringing that. You bring a very good point, but I'll tell you my personal experience with startups actually, particularly pertinent to Usman, has actually been the other way around because मैं खुद technologist turned investor हूँ ना. So जब लोग startups आते थे ना मेरे पास, and they would bring me the business proposition, the TAM, and this and that, right? Like honestly, my first week was all about technical stuff. कि आपके platform में differentiator क्या है? And which would be very different because most investors are pure finance guys, right?
Exactly.
Let's be honest. So I would love to bring in our ecosystem more people who are technical brains. Like technology is the differentiator. It is not about anything else. What makes a startup win is a technology differentiation. What makes a services company win is a technology differentiation. So we in SAI spend a lot of time there. Like in our due diligence process, one of the steps I'll be transparent with you for those that do qualify. So I'm going to meet your company solution architects. कि वो बंदे जिनको प्रॉब्लम दी जाती है वो हैं कौन, right? How do they go about solving it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to have our advisors talk to them. And these guys are like assassins, right? वो BCG में काम करके आए हुए हैं, वो enterprise तो like वो आपके style की conversations करते हैं. So startups को हम definitely करते हैं और services companies को तो definitely, right? Between tech stacks and the kind of delivery you've done, that's where our time is spent. So completely, I will, solicit help. I think at some point. But obviously अगर आप SAI के part नहीं होते हैं तो हमें NDAs में careful होना पड़ता है because everybody who engages with us, we take their information confidentiality very seriously. So we don't let anybody access to that who is not part of the SAI group, right? Like जो me and my partners and our associates. हम उसके अलावा उसको बहुत safeguard करते हैं. So if we do develop a mechanism for others to help in technical due diligence, फिर हमें उसको थोड़ा सा देखना पड़ेगा कि how do we make everybody comfortable, But great question.
Yeah, so I mean, if I could quickly add, I mean, a quick nugget, having run a services company for a decade and now entirely product based, तकरीबन हर service company में there are a lot of products sitting on the shelf right there, but because of the kind of business they are involved in and the lack of understanding of the finance side, because मुझे तकरीबन 1 साल लगा startup कि I mean टेक्निकल से निकल के बिजनेस और फाइनेंस वाली साइड कवर करने में, and still I'm a beginner. तो that's an area where you could really tap into, and through some due diligence, those are the guys जहाँ पे products अच्छे खासे बन सकते हैं, because most of the services company, they make products once they spend 7-8 years in that industry. So that is the kind of a defensive moat that we have across the country. But because typical VCs don't get their hands dirty into that area, right? Because वो probably finance के लोग होते हैं. If you have a technical background, I mean, I would love to, as much as I would love to pitch my startup, I would love to extend my support in reviewing pitch decks technically with my team. Thank you.
No, I
Thank you,
appreciate
Sai
that.
sir. Thank you very much. You go ahead, Asan sir.
I was just saying, no, I appreciate that. Yeah, we can talk.
Thank you very much, everyone, for participating today. We will move this process forward. We will be sharing FAQs with SAi Venture, and we will be floating the form to you so you can start participating in the next round. And we will keep the question option available as well. So while you are filling up the form, if you have any questions, you'll be able to share those with Pasha, and we'll route it to SAi Venture. And so you can get timely responses and fill out the forms appropriately and participate in this process.
Thank you very much.
Very much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Moise. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.